Why are filling stations owned by the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation closed? On the 19th of June, Minister of Power and Energy Kanchana Wijesekara revealed the fuel stock availability to the country. According to the minister, by then, the CPC had 40,000 metric tons of diesel and 12,300 metric tons of 92 and 95 octane petrol. The last petrol shipment was to reach Sri Lanka on the 23rd. However, that shipment did not arrive in Sri Lanka even as of today. What happened to that shipment?
At
first, Laserhead Dubai was the company involved in that shipment. Afterwards, they changed their name to Laserhead India. They then changed their name again to Nice Company. We had hopes of getting fuel from this Nice Company. According to the information I received, the letter of credit opened for this shipment was not a regular letter of credit. It was a confirmed letter of credit that was opened for this shipment. The LC was issued from the People's Bank for a price of $42.6 million. The ship confirmed that they will dock at the port. However, this ship disappeared suddenly. There are 4 aspects to this disappearance. First is the fact that such emergency purchases are made via unsolicited bids. According to what we know, when such deals are struck, there are certain commissions that exchange hands among the parties. I would like to say that this ship might have gone away because of some issue in these commissions. Secondly, there might have been a threat to the mafia in the fuel sector if details of this were revealed and if the ship unloaded at the port. Thirdly, there are no penalty fees involved in these emergency purchases. There are also no conditions and no guarantees. Therefore, there could have been a more lucrative offer made from India and the ship would have gone there. Fourthly, this ship was carrying fuel with Russian origins and the company that operated the ship was a Russian company. There are certain reports that the United States had tracked this ship. If this ship was tracked and Sri Lanka made a payment for it, they would have to get the money from New York. Therefore, the shipping company could have had some sort of uncertainty on receiving payment for this shipment. Therefore, it is also possible that the ship did not arrive because of this uncertainty in receiving payment due to international sanctions that were imposed. But I mostly suspect that this ship would have gone back because of an issue in the commissions with regard to the shipment.
With the scheduled fuel ship disappearing, the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation had to suspend issuing fuel to the public from the 28th of last month. While the situation was such, the cabinet convened on the 27th and decided to privatize the fuel stations owned by the CPC and future fuel stations that will be opened. According to the cabinet paper, 90% of the fuel distribution operations of the CPC will be taken over by other companies. Currently, the CPC has a market share of 90% in the fuel distribution across the country, while the Lanka IOC owns the remaining 10%. Increasing the distribution network of Lanka IOC, 3 shipments of diesel and petrol have been ordered already. Managing Director of Lanka IOC, Manoj Gupta, said these fuel shipments are due to arrive in the country between the 13th and 14th and the 29th and 30th of this month and the 10th and 15th of August. The Public Utilities Commission has begun discussions with the Lanka IOC for the procurement of 7,000 metric tons of diesel required for power generation in the country for the next 55 days.
Now they are trying to show the people that the government and the CPC cannot do this and that this must be handed over to the private sector. They are trying to push the people to a point where the people themselves will say, at least hand over these operations to foreign companies and give us fuel. The companies that import the fuel to the country and India will then have the power to decide the prices of fuel. You may remember that when the CPC was selling fuel at 176 rupees, the IOC was selling fuel at 184 rupees. We are headed to an era like that. Will 3 or 4 companies coming into Sri Lanka and taking over this sector allow us to control the price? If we say the price of fuel cannot be increased, we will have no power and they will stop the supply of fuel. If they cannot convert the rupees that they have into dollars, they will not bring down a single drop of fuel. The entire country will come to a halt in January and the people will die as slaves of foreign countries and companies. We are heading back into a colonial era.